Hello and welcome. This is Mama Jess. All right, this is the third time with the gopher. I'm really trying to catch a gopher. I usually catch them all the time, but not when I'm videoing for the United States. So, as I told you with my first gopher video, sometimes when you're passing through in the morning, you'll find a hole that's open, and that's the gopher airing out its tunnel. It also might be another critter that was digging, and it might not be a legitimate gopher hole, so just check it. Other times, you're just going to see this. And you know, indeed, it was eaten. This one was eaten right around the end here. The root was still intact. It's just tragic. You know, this was a really good plant. So I set a trap. I actually pulled some of that tomato, broke it off of this plant, and tucked it underneath the trap so that the gopher, because the gophers are going to come back to the plant that they decimated, and they're going to keep eating on it and pull it into their tunnels. So I just fed it in there, set the trap, and we're going to see if we caught it. And it's higher probability that we did because this gopher was coming back to this tomato plant. Okay, so we're going to check it out together. I really hope, I really, really hope, okay? Okay, let's see what happened. Oh, we got it. Look at that, buddy. I'm relieved. This is a big one. He would have done a lot of damage. Okay, so now what do we do with this? So as I mentioned in my first video, you can cut this open with a knife. I do have my knife on me, and this can be given to the chickens. They like this stuff. I also sometimes, if it's been sitting here a long time and it's going into rigor mortis, I just throw it out onto the path and let the ravens get it. So this is a huge boon. I'm thrilled. And let me show you how you get this out. Okay, so it's all bound up right here. So you're going to release the trigger here. Okay, so let me show you. Sometimes I don't know where the camera is. Here we do. Okay, now it's going to release it and it will dump it out. Okay, cool. So we got that little guy. Wow, that is just, I'm delighted. You know when they say a third time's a charm? I don't think that it's a charm. I think that I kept trying. I kept not giving up. So that's what works no matter what. Okay, so we're gonna close this up, but I wanted to show you this. So Mama Jess always has a backup plan. Okay, so this plant died, but I always make sure that I have extra tomato plants because I always lose probably 3, 4, 5 of them to gophers. They dry out. They're just weak plants, and I didn't know. So I want you to understand the need for a backup plan. And so it's like multiple lessons here. Don't give up, have a backup plan. So you don't have to panic and despair over that one tomato plant that didn't make it. You know, you have to, you know, you're going to understand the more you're in reality that stuff always goes wrong. And so you have to be prepared for that and plan ahead. Okay. So just like you plant any old plant, you know, I'm going to show you how just going to put it right back where it was. I should have my water with me right here. You always want to water in your plants immediately because sometimes you can forget that you did it. Okay. And with tomatoes, you can bury them about 2 or 3 inches deeper than the level ground. Okay. So I can cover up like that. That will give it a strength. Okay. So I'm going to water that in. And I saved the day. And so I want you to learn how to save the day. Catch a gopher, plant a tomato, be able to eat salsa. You know, life is really great. I used to think that I hated my life, but it was because I wasn't living the life I wanted. And so, you know, there's a lot of lives to live. Doesn't mean that the life in the surfing Santa Cruz world was wrong. It just wasn't for me. And so it's important to know yourself and know what brings you joy, what brings you purpose and passion and motivation to get up every day. So I love this stuff. And so I'm probably going to cut this up, slice it down the middle, let its guts come out, and then throw it to the chickens because this is good for the chickens. They love this kind of meaty stuff. Chickens aren't as much vegetarians as we're told they are. They like bugs and meat and stuff. All right. We succeeded. I feel great about it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.